Guys say they like one who isn't sexually experienced yet. If she's waiting for marriage, that's a deal breaker? There's guys on here who say that if there isn't sex before marriage, it'd be a deal breaker, because they'd want to check the sexual chemistry. I think you're trying to combine the demands of two very different demographics of men. Guys aren't a monolith. Guys don't want to wait until marriage, and they don't want someone who's been with the entire football team. It's more about the woman's approach to sex in general, I think. Men who value sex as something intimate and emotional don't want girls who see it as strictly physical and bang whoever after a night out. That's basically what they mean. Men don't necessarily want a virgin. They want someone with discriminating taste, someone who has been selective of her partners. We generally place a higher value on that which is more scarce and less attainable. We value gold above silver. We value luxury brands over similar knockoffs. Neither of those things are necessarily better than the other. They are just harder to come by. That may be true for some guys, wanting women who'll easily have sex w them, but also not someone who puts out too much. Personally, I don't care about virginity or prior experience. But even though I'm not sex crazy, sexual chemistry is important for me. I saw a woman for 2 months, super attractive, but when we finally got in bed, I just didn't feel that attraction. But I also didn't have sex with her due to this reason. They are two different things. Inexperience in this context does not mean never having had any sexual encounter, just that very few were not sufficient to know what to do or what they want like the partner to do. Waiting for marriage always means absolutely no sexual activity of any most kind. Some argue what constitutes as such with anyone before marriage has happened. I am not waiting until marriage unless that happens within a year or max 2, and I do not care about prior experience. Just don't bleed all over me or we'll be doing it in the shower. Waiting for marriage is one thing nowadays, while sexual inexperience is another. The former is a practice of discipline you see in people who change up their life, often with a religious focus. The latter is something often fetishized to the detriment of women, but can't entirely be centered on incels as their voluntary celibate counterparts. Low sex experience counterparts also exist. It really depends on the person. Personally, I am sexually experienced. I love a woman's body. I love to worship my wife's body in the bedroom. In turn, I would want the same in return. The cohesion and chemistry in the bedroom is a must, as well as the chemistry out of the bedroom. Alternatively, I have been with a woman where the sexual chemistry wasn't there and the relationship fell apart, because sexually I was bored and she made no effort. She was the dead fish, and no matter how much I tried to explain how boring and unappealing that was, it never changed and led to breaking up. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. I have said it and called it out before as it is just a double-edged standard. So as a woman, do you? What makes you feel comfortable, since at the end of the day, the power of sex lies in the woman. I have friends who are waiting till marriage and are dating guys that are willing to wait, and the love for each other is there. Likewise the opposite. I think it depends. If the girl is a virgin, then it should be okay to wait until marriage, but if she isn't a virgin and gave it up to another guy, there is no reason she should make you wait. It's an odd paradox, alright. I'd never want to date or marry a virgin. It's a huge red flag to me that they aren't normal, and we aren't sexually compatible. Dumb men. Guys, aren't you one person? I for one don't give a flying fuck how sexually experienced someone is. Also, I think it's about the fantasy of being her first one, and of course, you don't want to wait for being the first one. The deal breaker is lack of self-respect and impulse control. A psychologically and emotionally healthy woman will open her legs until the man has warmed her up and opened her heart. Typically this takes 4 to 8 dates or so. Men don't trust a woman he can feel is just sleeping with him for approval attention, not because her heart is ready. In a very real way, she is proving that she's broken. What a man looks for is her authentic response to him. In theory, it's possible to open a woman's heart over the course of one long, extraordinary date. The experienced man can feel the state of her heart as he is sexing her. Men also respect women who wait for commitment, but only if it is a deeply held principle she keeps and not an arbitrary rule subject to change. Experienced men dealing with a commitment requirement assess her attraction level in other ways, and know how important it is not to deal with women who are not highly attracted to him. Arbitrary rules are the results of low attraction. Cause in my life, I'm going to have sex with 2-13 women, and it's going to be crushing when I find out you've been with 436 guys, but I'm the special one. All the while you just keep comparing me to all your exes in different ways. Plus, the sex becomes more and more transactional the more they've had. I had an ex that had more than double my bodies and didn't care for sex, because all men need is a hole, mind you. She was on dating sites where the main point is getting as many girls to hook up with top members as possible. Men do not have as much sexual freedom as women. But it's more the fact that women with little experience are generally more willing to explore with you, try new things to see if they like them. While women who've been with a lot of men know a lot and may not even use it all on you. So now you're hearing stories of the one time she did a dude so bad in a hotel that a UV light would turn the room into a rave club, while you're not even getting head and she won't even ride you. Not all of either gender, but enough of them to be noticed. Men on Reddit suck. You want to find a husband and someone who values you, cherishes sex, etc. Stay off Reddit. I've never experienced truly awful men the way I have anywhere else than I have on Reddit. Women also have lots of unrealistic expectations. Hypocrites. The number of sexual partners are irrelevant to me. The only question I ask is, have you done STD testing since your last partner, and have you ever cheated on a partner?